Are you M14 gang or Olympia gang? For as long as humanity has existed, these two sides have waged a war of memes against one another. Well, that may be a bit of an exaggeration. I guess what I should say is that the war began when Black Ops was released and we were given the greatest starting weapons of all time. What is up, gamers? Today, we're here to show why people choose M14 gang by trying to get to round 50. It feels like I've already been training for this with all the SMR attempts, but I wanted something a little nicer for a change. It was basically like taking the training weights off and being able to go all out. It felt so nice being able to buy the M14 straight away without having to knife zombies, pray for good box luck. And being able to buy ammo whenever I needed it felt really nice as well. I may not be the biggest fan of Cold War, but man do I wish the older games had an ammo box. The worst part of using the SMR is the hours of trade-outs. Anyways, back to the M14. The early rounds were an absolute breeze, and I was throwing myself off by doing the SMR strat since the zombies were actually dying too quickly. I had all my perks by round 7, and I had also grabbed the MP5 because it's a speed weapon. A speed weapon is, quite simply, a weapon that gives you the fastest movement speed. The MP5, Chicom, ballistic knife, and claymores are all speed weapons in Black Ops 2. And the MP5 is the only one that's available on the wall in town. Many people think stamina gives you the fastest movement speed, but it actually increases your movement speed, so even the fastest weapons benefit from it. I took a very stupid down on round 9, getting smacked from behind while I was shooting at the horde, but it's pretty normal for me to take dumb early downs, and I was easily able to grab all my perks again. I finished the round, went through round 10, then tossed the M14 into the pack-a-punch. I was easily able to fly through the next 2 rounds. I made it to round 17 before stopping to take my first break and play some Overwatch with my fiancé. It honestly isn't the most relaxing game, but I usually have a decent time on quick play. Honestly, being able to take a break and play other games is one of the only advantages the Xbox has going for it. Quick Resume is an absolute godsend for preserving my mental stability. It is a bit annoying to have to play offline, but it's better than grinding for hours on end and leaving my Xbox on for days. After my break, I continued to blast through the rounds. I made it all the way to round 30 without any issues. The M14 was still doing well, which was a relief since that's about the time the SMR usually falls off. Unfortunately, my concentration slipped and I took another down. I used to try going for high rounds, but over the years I've learned that I can't concentrate long enough. I always end up getting bored and taking dumb downs. That's why I feel that round 50 is a much more reasonable goal. Be sure to let me know how you guys feel about these round 50 videos. I figured that you all enjoy my suffering, so I'd try to get round 50 with some of the less powerful weapons. Anyways, I made it to round 38 before calling it a night. I was optimistic that I'd be able to wrap up this challenge the next day, which felt great considering the SMR would only be at around 30 or so right now. It really is impressive just how bad the lack of accuracy and access to ammo makes that gun. And don't think I've forgotten that piece of crap. I won't rest until I take that thing to round 50. I just needed a little break. This was the point where I could feel the M14 starting to fall off. I was starting to feel a bit sick of it, but I knew that I only had to push a little bit further. I was determined to finish it that night, so I pressed onwards. Only a few minutes in, I had already taken my last down. As easy and chill as town can be, all of the fire and lava can really be a pain in the ass. There was a chance I could have survived, but the fire damage caused me to take a 4-hit down. Getting damaged in World at War through Black Ops 2 can easily lead to a down since it stops you from sprinting. If you play a lot of Black Ops 3, you probably forgot about this, but surprisingly Black Ops 3 also had this issue at launch. I guess Treyarch decided that made the game too hard since they patched it out only a few days later. So after that silly down, I was able to get all my perks and keep going. The truly sad part is that while round 38 may seem like you're almost done, it's actually only about the halfway point in terms of kills. On top of that, the zombies get more health each round, so I really still had quite a ways to go. I was racing against the clock, since I was getting closer and closer to time to feed the baby, but I really wanted to finish this first. It was also around this time that my finger was really starting to get tired. I don't know which weapon I'll use for the next round 50 attempt, but I definitely need a break from all the semi-autos. Ironically, this is where the SMR actually has the advantage. You get to take plenty of breaks to rest your finger while you're doing trade-outs. Eventually, I started turning around and shooting the horde whenever I had the chance, not even bothering to lead them somewhere first. I really wanted to just be done, so I was almost constantly spamming the M14 into them. Slowly but surely, the rounds were going by, and I could almost taste freedom. My finger was absolutely begging for a break, but I pressed onward. Eventually, I did have to stop to let the dogs out, which gave me the break I wanted. I took the time to fill up my water, because staying hydrated is very important. If there's one thing that you can be in control of, it should be staying hydrated, and thankfully it's pretty easy to do this in most places. This video is sponsored by water. So I got back to the run, and continued to push through. There were a few close calls, but nothing too wild. While I've got you all here, can I just say that my favorite pizza place stopped making mac and cheese pizza? If any of you haven't tried it, and there's a place near you that has it, you gotta. My Italian ancestors are probably rolling in their graves, but I promise it's incredible. Also, while we're complaining, my pen is drying up, which is really sad because I liked it. It was a good pen. Anyways, the rounds were taking about 20 minutes or so, and were only getting longer. I was cutting it close, but I felt like I'd be able to finish in time. I also found that it helps to distract yourself from the monotony by watching a movie, show, YouTube, listening to music. There are times where I'll sit down and I'll watch like 5 hours of YouTube while I'm just playing zombies. I think one of the most frustrating things about these runs are the drops. It feels like they either all drop at once, which usually wastes a nuke or an insta-kill, or they don't drop until the end of the round, which also ends up wasting one of them. Luckily, max ammos aren't super necessary when you're using a wall weapon. On round 48, I checked the time and I was wondering if I'd actually be able to finish on time, but I kept going. I made it through to round 49 after about 30 minutes, and I was ready to finish the game and reach round 50, but unfortunately, I got stuck on the car. I was in no hurry to go through all of that again, and I doubt there's any way that the Olympia makes it that far, so I called it there. If you made it to the end of the video, you're awesome. Thank you all so much for watching. This is a reminder to leave a like, subscribe, hit the bell, all that good stuff. I do plan on using the Olympia next, and I'm hoping that I should have that uploaded by Saturday or so. I may have a challenge video in between. It just depends on whether I can get to it or not. And again, please let me know if you are enjoying these kind of videos of just going to round 50 with crappy weapons. Thank you all so much for watching, and if there is one, I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.